Adidas CEO change by Jodi-Ann Spence. Adidas company history and the CEO change. Adidas began in a restroom and quickly expanded throughout the globe. Adidas also occasionally failed to score as many goals as they would have liked in between. Adidas has made every effort to achieve success. Adidas expanded and got better, focusing on the future but never forgetting their origins. Their tale is told here. Years 1900 to 1949, every amazing narrative starts somewhere. This one began in a German province called Bavaria. Adi Dassler began his career in his mother's laundry room before registering the Gebrüder Dassler Schuhfabrik in 1924 and setting out to supply sportsmen with the best gear available. Gold medals in Berlin 1928, Lieder Radke, as well as Amsterdam 1928 were the first honors and significant events, but they were only the beginning of their tale. In 1949, on August 18, 1949, Adi Dassler, then 49 years old, reestablished himself registering the Adi Dassler Adidas Sports Schuhfabrik and beginning operations in the little town of Herzogenaurach with 47 workers. He registered an item of footwear which had the Adidas three stripes, which would eventually become iconic. In the same year, the journey from the modest beginnings to a worldwide success story was expedited by a miracle. In 1954, who would have imagined that a lightweight football boot with screw-in studs would contribute to the writing of history? In 1954, the German national football team earned more than just a trophy when they played the undefeated Hungarians in the World Cup final. For decades to come, the world would be talking about their incredible win, and it turned Adidas and its creator into a well-known brand on soccer fields worldwide. Oh my God, a dazzler! International media took a keen interest in the revolutionary footwear. In 1967, Franz Beckenbauer tracksuit. Entire name, what is it? All things are named after Kaisers. With the release of the Franz Beckenbauer tracksuit model, Adidas introduced its first clothing line and launched a whole new line of commerce for the shoe-focused corporation. From 1968 to 1970, sportsmen's confidence. How can you gain the respect of elite athletes over the course of decades? Create novel goods that enhance them further. Andy Dassler's formula for success had a human touch as well. He interacted with athletes. Some of them were even guests at Herzogenaurach, paid close attention to what they had to say, and was always on the lookout for ways to make their demands better or even invent new ones. From the start, the greatest of the best had faith in Adidas and its creator, and throughout the ensuing decades, that would not alter. In 1970, everyone won ball. What do gold medal winners wear? Verify. Dress to shatter records? Verify. How about we play a little game now? Think of it, finished. Adidas originally sent out the official ball for the 1970 FIFA World Cup known as Telstar in 1970. The ball's intended purpose, as implied by its name, Telstar, was to enhance visibility on black and white television. Adidas would go on to provide the official match ball for each and every FIFA World Cup that followed, marking the start of an amazing association. In 1972, the Olympic idea and trefoil. Whenever the Olympic Games started in Munich in 1972, eyes around the globe turned to Germany. Adidas unveiled the trefoil, a new logo which was meant to stay right before the event. Next, a performance sign. The Adidas Originals line now represents streetwear and lifestyle. Though times may change, trefoiled quality never goes away. From 1972 to 1978, developing into an actual multi-sport expert. Over the years, the three steps spread to an increasing number of sports from Herzogenaurach towards the rest of the world. This is evident in the diverse array of athletes that rely on Adidas to help them improve. In addition to the usual suspects, like the best football teams in the world, like the Argentine national team, outdoor icon Reinhold Messner scaled mountains while wearing Adidas shoes, and gymnast Nadia Comaneci routinely scored a perfect 10. In 1978, a shoemaker's death. On September 6, Dassler passed away not long before becoming 78 years old. A thriving business was left in the wake of the guy who virtually single-handedly reinvented the athletic goods market and raised the bar by a significant margin. One Dassler period came to an end and a new one began when Addie's wife, Kathy, assumed leadership with help from her son Horst. In 1984, a PC for your feet. In the 1980s, a computer wasn't meant to be in your shoe, much less fit one. This may sound quite commonplace today. Didn't stop Adidas from including it. The micropacer was an invention ahead of its time. It included a mechanism that gave at least performance information. In 1986, the fusion of sports and the arts. The goal of the United States hip hop group Run DMC's song My Adidas was to correct misconceptions about hardworking people living in impoverished communities and their ardent love for their sneakers. Adidas was unaware of this romantic tale until the band displayed the three striped sneakers in front of 40,000 concert goers, one of whom happened to be an Adidas employee. The song grew popular and Adidas and Run DMC found unexpected and interesting collaborators. In addition to starting the enduring street fashion trend, this combination of art and sports signaled the advent of non-athletic advertising in the sporting goods sector. In 1989, the Dassler era's ended, 3 years after the loss of his mother, Kathy. In 1987, Horst Dassler unexpectedly passed away, causing difficulties for Adidas. Adidas went public in 1989, and in 1990, Adi Dassler's daughters relinquished their ownership interest. A leadership turnover and dubious strategy choices following the Dassler's girls' departure from the company resulted in a record loss in 1992 as well as almost drove the business into bankruptcy. Still, who doesn't enjoy a good comeback tale? In 1993, the new master of a sleeping giant, Robert Louis Dreyfus, almost hard work, almost hard task appeared effortless for the new CEO. He realized together with partner Christian Torres that Adidas, which was on the verge of bankruptcy, only required a fresh direction rather than a complete restructuring. He guided Adidas back onto the ground road, transforming the dormant behemoth from a sales-focused organization to one driven by marketing. We knew then, we knew now. We knew then, we now is the perfect way to encapsulate Adidas' new marketing tagline when it went public in 1995, 6 years after the company's founding. From 1989 to 1994, inventiveness is a never-ending process. Adidas had finalized difficulties for a while, but a new marketing team brought the firm back to its core competency of improving athletes. During this time, Adidas created some of its most well-known inventions, including the Predator football boot 1994, the Equipment Idea 1991, the Torsion 1989, and the Streetball campaign 1992. In 1997, Solomon joins the group as a new team member. Adidas reorganizes its squad by welcoming a new member. Adidas Solomon AG was the new name of the corporation following the acquisition of the Solomon Group and its brands, which included Solomon, TaylorMade, Mavic, and Bonfire. In 2001, a creative authority, after Herbert Hainer was appointed as the company's new CEO, Adidas Solomon AG increased its emphasis on innovation. Adizero 2004, the F50 football footwear, which debuted just in time for the 2006 FIFA World Cup in Germany, Climacool 2002, and the new CEO all were commercial success. From one record to the next, Herbert Hainer will guide the business. In the 2000s, Fresh Division's New Century. Adidas reimagined the game as the new century got underway. Adidas leads the market in launching a new lifestyle category that focuses on streetwear with a sports influence, alongside its athletic performance offering, along with innovative labels like Y3 2003, as well as Porsche Design Sport 2007, fresh collaborations like Yoji Yamamoto 2001, as well as Stella McCartney 2004, emerged in the following years. In 2004, unthinkable, only a large word. In one of the most iconic advertising campaigns, Adidas features its top stars such as David Beckham as well as Haile Gebrselassie overcoming obstacles head on to demonstrate that, in fact, impossible is nothing. The phrase came to represent achieving your objectives. In 2006, Reebok joins the family. Solomon leaves the team. Reebok, as well as the brands Rockport and Reebok CCM Hockey, was acquired by Adidas 1 year after Solomon and the company parted ways, with the latter and its brands, apart from TaylorMade, being sold to Amer Sports. This acquisition united two of the most reputable and well-known sporting goods companies in the world. The business changed its name to Adidas AG in June. From 2009 to 2012, searching out new partners. How can you improve upon greatness once you have achieved it? You continue to train. Alternately, team up with someone who entices your abilities and talents. Adidas purchased the outdoor specialist 510 in 2011. In 2011, what is part of a team comes together, from the stadium to the street and from the court to the catwalk. Whether you are an athlete or a fashionista, Adidas has clothing as well as footwear for every activity, every style, and every budget. Adidas unites fashion, street, and sport for the first time in a single campaign in 2011 to convey to the globe the meaning of putting one's heart and one's mind above one's ego and going all in. The song "All In", which features celebrities like Lionel Messi, David Beckham, as well as Derrick Rose, was inspired by the notion that you have to give it your all in order to succeed, no matter what your objectives or obstacles may be. In 2013, Unceasing Ingenuity. Running has never been the same, lofty terms. If this is true, history will tell us. Adidas releases the Energy Boost running shoe, which has an entirely new kind of cushioning. The material, which was developed in collaboration with the German chemical firm BASF, combines the hitherto incongruous advantages of soft and responsive cushioning to provide a running sensation that is unmatched. In 2015, Forming the Next, the company's second five-year strategic business plan was unveiled on March 2015. Adidas is moving forward with a strategy and mindset centered around creating the new. The company's daily goal is to empower individuals to use sport as a powerful force in their life. Since sports are an attitude and a way of life, the approach converts that skill in athletics into streetwear and fashion. Sports are the foundation of everything the firm does. In 2015, the Rockport brand was divested as it was not crucial to this approach for the brown shoe category. As a result, the business was able to simplify and concentrate on the Adidas as well as Reebok brands. Speed. Establish yourself as the industry's first really fast sports firm by acting quickly to meet customer demands and make internal decisions. Cities New York, Los Angeles, Shanghai, Tokyo, London, as well as Paris are the six important cities to increase market share, share of mind, and share of trend. Open source. Be the pioneer in sports firm to extend invitations to players, fans, and partners to become brand ambassadors. In 2016, a vision art for the digital age. In October 2016, Herbert Hainer hands over the CEO helm to Caspar Rohrstedt following 15 years. The Dane who led the German consumer goods because Henkel for 8 years before joining Adidas is well liked by staff members, investors, and the media. Building on creating the new, Rorsted leads the organization to new heights in the digital age as the sportswear and fashion sectors continue to transform and health and fitness become a lifestyle idea. In 2017, push important competencies up. The corporation added to its goal of creating a new and concentrated on its core capabilities in footwear and clothing, as well as its major brands Adidas and Reebok, by divesting its hockey brand CCM, as well as its golf brands TaylorMade, Adams Golf, as well as Ashworth. In 2019, Sweet Home, Adidas commemorates the completion of the construction of the World of Sports at its Herzogenaurach, Germany, with the unveiling of its new office building arena. For the first time ever, the 5,400 Herzo workers are housed on a single campus in a setting that perfectly captures the company's distinct corporate culture. The completely integrated, internationally implemented My Arena workplace idea prioritizes freedom and collaboration while providing activity-based workspaces. Employees may now select from a range of rooms and settings based on their requirements, from informal get-togethers to formal conference rooms and places for solitary concentration. Assigned workstations are a thing of the past. In 2021, Game Owned, Adidas unveiled its new 5-year strategy cycle in 2021. Own the Game recognizes the consumer's influence on industry trends and places them squarely at the center of everything. They want to combine sport and lifestyle, how live active and healthy lifestyles are digital natives by nature and are firmly committed to sustainability. On the Game will seize these chances driven by the needs of the customer and create new ones that work in their favor. If this plan is implemented successfully, it will push the limits of sustainability, improve consumer experience, and strengthen brand trust. Reebok exploration, starting the official procedure to divest Reebok, was a choice closely related to own the game's debut. After giving it some thought, it was decided that Reebok, as well as Adidas, would both be better off realizing their development potential on their own. In 2022, Gucci x Adidas. Adidas Originals and Gucci have announced that they will be working together on a new project called Gucci x Adidas, which will combine the histories and creative philosophies of both companies. The first collection, which combines the recognizable Gucci and trefoil symbols with a kaleidoscope of colors, makes its runway premiere. In 2023, Greetings Bjorn, Bjorn Golden joins Adidas as CEO and executive board member in 2023. Bjorn has about 30 years of experience in the sports goods and footwear sector and is a former professional football as well as handball player. He provides a lot of understanding in sports and retail. Returning to the Three Stripes to lead the firm into a new age, Bjorn was formerly the senior vice president of apparel as well as accessories from 1992 to 1999. Type of change. This type of change is innovative. Adidas makes significant investments in research and development (R&D) in order to maintain its position at the forefront of innovation. The organization provides funding for both internal and external research projects, allowing them to take use of outside knowledge and cutting-edge technology. Adidas also recognizes hackathons, which unite professionals from many industries to work together on creative ideas. Adidas should develop novel ideas to satisfy athletes and customers' demands. If it is to become the world's greatest sports corporation and improve its market position in the sporting goods industry, Adidas is steadfastly dedicated to upholding a robust and incentive concept pipeline, introducing novel technologies and procedures, allocating resources towards sustainable facilitators, and investigating the potential for digitalization throughout their whole value chain. Adidas's innovation strategy is largely predicated on their open source mentality, which is through to their ideal of creative cooperation. The Adidas Supervisory Board has chosen Casper Roysted's replacement as CEO On January 1st, 2023, Warren Golden will take over as the CEO and be part of the executive board of Adidas AG Rosidenarch, Germany. As part of the supervisory board's decision, Rorsted stepped down from his position as CEO and departs the firm on November 11, 2022. Since taking over in 2016, he has considerably accelerated the company's digital transformation and restructured the organization strategically. Adidas' chief financial officer, Harma Olmeyer, will take charge of the business till December 31st, 2022. On August 22nd, 2022, the supervisory board made the announcement of a change in the CEO. At Puma SE, Herzenarach Golden has served as CEO since 2013. He recalls his time spent working at Adidas from 1992 to 1999, holding several positions including Senior Vice President of Clothing as well as accessories. He also held executive positions at outdoor apparel business Helly Hansen, Norway, President of Rack Room Shoes USA, Managing Director of Deichmann, Germany, and CEO of Pandora Denmark. He is also the chairman of the Sailing Group's Denmark Board of Directors. Golden played professional handball and football. He was a football player for 1 FC Nuremberg in the German 2 Bundesliga Division 2, a handball player for Haslam in Norway's top division and a player for Brian, as well as Strømsgodset in the Norwegian Premier League. Is the change reactive or proactive? The change is proactive. Adidas is interacting with stakeholders regarding its corporate responsibility policies in a proactive manner. Adidas, ADSGN.de will lose almost 16 million euros, 16.86 million, as a result of CEO Kasper Rorsted's early retirement based to an annual report that was made public on Wednesday. A severance payout of 12 million euros will be given to the Danish national who departed the German sportswear manufacturer in November, nearly 4 years before his contract was set to expire. In addition, he will get his remaining pay of about 300,000 euros for both November and December, along with an additional 3.6 million euros as compensation for declining to sign with a rival team within the following 18 months. Rorsted resigned earlier than expected last year due to growing issues at the company, notably excessive dependence on business in China. Even though his contract had been lengthened by 5 years in 2021, the business said in November that Bjorn Golden, whom has been in charge of Puma, POMG.de from 2013, will take over for Rorsted on January 1st. In 2022, Rorsted and his other board members saw a pay cut due to the decline in profits. They did not get any share-based long-term incentives or performance-related awards for 2022. The latter had a total of 14.2 million euros in the previous year. How the change has or will impact the company positively, negatively, or both. In research where the CEO of Adidas talks about his turnaround plan, Adidas plans to prioritize the optimization of its business model with a particular emphasis on increasing its service orientation towards wholesale. With the Yeezy out of the picture, wholesale is anticipated to play a larger role in Adidas' business strategy, but Golden doesn't anticipate the move to necessarily impact profits. It is untrue that wholesale is the less profitable channel in the present environment, having so much clearance, Golden declared. Golden also stated, depending on how you truly view the company, I believe it to be a major misconception. Adidas' CEO change may have left the worst behind. If Adidas' recent bad news continues, it might be the end of the company. However, investors' future will depend on the new CEO's recovery strategy. Based on the rising clothing readings in the United States ISM Manufacturing PMI Index, the apparel industry has seen a push on all fronts for the majority of 2022 and this year. The index's survey findings point to an acceleration of the growth of the garments industry, its employment, output, pricing, and backlog of orders. Strong momentum has outperformed forecasts and produced positive returns for stock investors by driving the sector's equities forward. The way things are going, it must seem like a party 2 blocks away, complete with the loud music and people who are upsetting Adidas, OTCM, KTS, ADDYY. This is potentially losing money for the initial time in 30 years. While some market players believe the company and its brand are doomed, others maintain that the tenacious household worldwide brand is far from out of business. Following are a few facts that investors might find useful rather than tales. Is disasters easy? Adidas has an extensive track record of collaborating and producing collaborative collections with artists who are titans in their own fields, but maybe no one has been as influential or as quirky as Kanye West, who viewed Adidas more as a peer than a founder and as a source of sponsorship for the company's support of his brand acceptability in the marketplace. Adidas was forced to decide between maintaining income and expanding brand recognition or penetration and upholding its reputation, as well as ESG, environmental, social, and governance KPIs, when the artist posted some offensive opinions on social media. Rightly, management opted for the latter. Unfortunately for the clothing firm, this choice was made after all expenditures and resources had been paid to launch a Yeezy partnership. As a result, the inventory is currently under review and may need to be fully written off. This inventory is thought to be valued up to 1.3 billion US dollars, which would have a significant impact on business operations and result in the company's first net loss year since 3 decades ago. Inadequate timing. Having a debt to equity pay ratio of 123%, 60 to 65% is regarded on the upper end of the scale. Adidas has taken on their highest levels of debt in a 6 year look back period. Thus, this predicament could not have come at worse moments. Financial leverage, which is calculated by dividing total assets by shareholders' equity, was 3.8 times. The industry considers leverage between 1.6 times and 2.4 times to be acceptable. Conversely, in 2022, sales in China fell by 36%, significantly impeding the company's growth, as if it, as if that were enough. During the year, concerns with the supply chain and inflationary pressures caused gross margins to drop from a pandemic level of 50 to 52% to a pitiful 47% in 2022. Ultimately, to cap it all, the corporation lost 974 million US dollars due to closures in Russia, even though they were recorded as one-offs and did not interfere with regular operations. Those investors who wish to have their allegiance tested will have to take an unpleasant pill. Management has chosen to reduce payouts by 79% in order to reduce free cash flow in 2022, as well as the anticipated operational losses in 2023. But Jordan Golden, the company's new CEO, hopes to improve this position by 2024. Prospects. As of now, investors are only aware that 2023 will be a difficult year and that the management faces a formidable task in turning the firm around by 2024 and returning to its previous profitability. Considering the extreme unpredictability surrounding the Yeezy brand and the world economy, the management has not offered much direction. They have indicated that net revenues will decline by a high single-digit percentage, with an operational loss of around 500 million euros. This year may see more dividend reductions and a halt to buybacks due to the company's excessive debt levels and the anticipated decline in net sales. At the moment, inventory amounts account for around 30% of the business's assets. Inventory will account for around 25% of assets, even if the 1.3 billion US dollars in easy collections are fully written down. This high quantity of inventory may easily trigger significant markdowns in both physical stores and online to speed up inventory turnover. There are undoubtedly a number of negative things at Adidas' disposal, but have faith that management can offer a thorough strategy to pay down debt and carry on as they have been for years. The reopening of China may provide fresh turnaround plans, some impetus, but even if routine operations are resumed, the company might reach the analyst consensus value objective of 155 euros, which is 165 US dollars. The stock appears to have a major support level in the 120 to 135 euros range, according to reasonable technical analysis. The recent increase in volume shows that a bottom may be forming soon, and investors are understandably waiting for more information on the exact extent of the damage from inventory write-downs, as well as implications for dividends, as well as debt unloading efforts. Conclusion: Adidas is a company that started from the bottom and always rose back to the top no matter what problems it has encountered. Adidas is investing heavily in research and development (R&D) to stay ahead of the competition. The company supports both internal and external research projects and organizes hackathons to collaborate on creative ideas. Adidas aims to become the world's largest sports corporation and improve its market position in the sporting goods industry. The company's innovation strategy is based on an open source mentality and focuses on developing novel ideas to satisfy athletes and customers. Adidas' CEO, Bjorn Gulden, took over on January 1st, 2023, following Kasper Rorsted's departure in November 2022. Golden has had various executive positions at Adidas, including Senior Vice President of Clothing and Accessories and also the Chairman of the Celine Group Board of Directors. Adidas will lose nearly 16 million euros, 16.86 million, due to CEO Kasper Rorsted's early retirement, according to an annual report. Rorsted will receive a severance payout of 12 million euros, his remaining pay of 300,000 euros for November and December, and an additional 3.6 million euros for declining to sign with the rival team within 18 months. The change is proactive as Adidas is interacting with stakeholders regarding its corporate responsibility policies. Adidas CEO Bjorn Gulden has announced plans to optimize its business model, focusing on increasing its service orientation towards wholesale. With the Yeezy brand out of the picture, wholesale is expected to play a larger role in Adidas' business strategy, but Gulden doesn't anticipate a decrease in profits. The company's recent bad news may have left the worst behind, but investors' future depends on the new CEO's recovery strategy. The apparel industry has seen a push on all fronts for most of 2022 and this year, with strong momentum driving the sector's equities forward. However, Adidas' recent bad news may have left the worst behind, as it faces potential loss for the first time in 30 years. Adidas has taken on their highest level of debt in a 6-year look-back period, with financial leverage being 3.8 times. In 2022, sales in China fell by 36%, and concerns with the supply chain and inflationary pressures caused gross margins to drop from a pre-pandemic level of 50 to 52% to a pitiful 47%. Management has chosen to reduce payouts by 79% to reduce free cash flow in 2022 and anticipated operational losses in 2023. By 2024, Adidas faces a formidable task in turning the firm around and returning to its previous profitability. The reopening of China may provide fresh turnaround plans, but even if routine operations are resumed, the company might reach the analyst consensus value objective of €155, which is 165 US dollars. Adidas should continue with their innovations and proactive changes, but Kanye West Yeezys could still be sold in Adidas stores because of the following. Adidas reported that its operational profit for the first time of the year increased by €150 million or an incremental amount as a result of the Yeezy sales. This is partially due to the fact that the sales represented over 50% of the €800 million Adidas earned from Yeezy merchandise in the first half year of 2022. When Adidas listed the unsold shoes that were left over after splitting with West, who now goes by Yee, in October, the German shoe firm received almost 565 million in May, according to the Times. This was due to approximately 4 million orders. According to the Times, Adidas was unable to meet all of the demand for the shoes, indicating that West's comments did not have a disastrous effect on the brand's connection. Adidas had previously stated that it will contribute a portion of its sales earnings to groups that oppose racism and antisemitism. However, as the Times reported on Monday, persons with knowledge of the situation revealed that Adidas will be giving over $9 million to 5 charities in the United States and China. Adidas said on Monday that its sale of a portion of its Yeezys inventory has assisted in bringing down its anticipated operating deficit for 2023 from $775 million to $598.56 million. However, Adidas and other companies should confront Kanye West about his remarks that caused them to want to not sell his products instead of immediately just stopping business with him, as every person should know and remember where they were and where they would be without money, food, shelter, and clothing, and without living their dream, as every person should be humble and live more than their dreams. Here is a list of references. I hope you enjoy this presentation. The end.